So good afternoon students. So next we can study about the sternum. Okay. So sternum we all know it's an example for a flat bone. Okay. So it's an example for a flat bone. So we can see it is a flat bone and it is seen in the anterior portion of our thorax and the midline. Okay. So on either side we can see ribs. Okay. So at the midline of the thoracic region we can see this bone, that is our sternum. Okay. So the sternum, it is about 16-17 centimeter in long and it is longer in males than in females. Okay. And it has three parts. Upper we can see there is a broad portion, this is known as manubrium sternum. Then there will be a body of the sternum, and below that there will be a small piece that is known as siphisternum. So it is broken here, it is not there. Okay. So this portion, this upper portion, this is known as manubrium sternum. Then below that there will be body of sternum, and below that there will be siphisternum. Okay. So first we can see features of the manubrium sternum. So this is the uppermost portion which is wider when comparing to the body. So this portion, up to this portion, up to this line, okay, up to this line, this is the manubrium sternum, up to this portion. Okay. And this manubrium sternum, it's a quadrilateral shaped spot, quadrilateral in shape, and it has two surfaces. There is an anterior surface and a posterior surface, and it has four borders. There will be a superior border and inferior border and two lateral borders. Two lateral border. Okay. So there is a superior border, inferior border, and two lateral borders for the manubrium sternum. Okay. Then coming to the features, so anterior surface, this is the anterior surface, this is rough and it is convex. Okay. Rough and convex. And this is the posterior surface. This posterior surface is smooth and it is concave. Smooth and concave. Okay. And this forms the anterior part of the superior mediastinum. This forms the anterior wall of the superior mediastinum. So this is the posterior surface, and it has four borders. First is the superior border. Superior border, we can see at the midline there is a notch. This is known as jugular notch, or it is known as suprasternal notch. It is known as suprasternal notch or jugular notch or interclavicular notch. Interclavicular notch, we can make out this one. So this notch is known as jugular notch, interclavicular notch or suprasternal notch. This one. Okay. And on either side there will be another two notches can be seen. There are the clavicular notches. So our clavicle will come and attach like this. Okay. So there are the clavicular notches. So at the midline there is interclavicular or jugular notch, and on either side there is clavicular notch, in which the clavicle, medial end of the clavicle will come and attaches here. Okay. So that is superior border, that is the superior border. And inferior border, this is the inferior border. We can see inferior border is attached to the body. Okay. It is attached to the body and there forms a joint, that is the secondary cartilaginous joint. Okay. So there is a joint between the manubrium sternum and the body of the sternum that forms the secondary cartilaginous joint. Okay. And there will be two lateral borders, and two lateral borders and this before that, this inferior border, we can see it forms an angle between the body and the manubrium sternum. So like this we can see, if we are keeping like this, we can identify there will be an angle formed between the manubrium sternum and the body of the sternum. Okay. So there is an angle here, we can make out an angle between the manubrium sternum and the body of the sternum, and this angle is known as angle of Lewis, this or sternal angle. So this junction between the manubrium sternum and the body of the sternum forms an angle that is known as sternal angle or angle of Lewis. Angle of Lewis. Okay. Then coming to the lateral borders, this so many events are happening in this sternal angle. Okay. And in this actually in this level, not in this level, this level in the thoracic cavity. Okay. The thoracic cavity, there will be formation of cardiac plexus can be seen at the level. Then the upper limit of the base of the heart upper limit of the base of the heart lies at this level. And arch of aorta, starting point of the arch of aorta and ending point of the arch of aorta is at the same level. Okay, starting point and ending level of the arch of aorta is at the sternal angle. Okay. And the arch of aorta, then starting of the thoracic aorta is also at this level. And one more important event is our trachea divides into two bronchus at this level. Okay. So these are the events, major events that is seen at the level of sternal angle. Okay. So this is the sternal angle. Then comes the two lateral borders. So these two lateral borders, it forms the primary cartilaginous joint with the first. Here we can see some pieces of first, actually this up to here only our manubrium sternum. To here only this actual our manubrium sternum is there, and these are the two pieces of cartilage. Okay, first costal cartilage, part of first costal cartilage also can be seen. Okay, here forms the another primary cartilaginous joint. There is a primary cartilaginous joint between the cartilage, costal cartilage, first costal cartilage and the lateral border of the manubrium sternum. Okay. So there is a facet, actually these are the facet we can see. Okay. So here also one facet will be there for the attachment of the first costal cartilage and forms the primary cartilaginous joint here. Okay. Below that we can see half portion of a facet can be seen, which is for the articulation of second costal cartilage. This is first costal cartilage, and here we can see half portion of the second costal cartilage, and half portion is there in the body. Okay. For this is for the second costal cartilage. Okay. So that is the lateral border. So these are the four borders of the manubrium sternum. Okay. Two surfaces and four borders: superior border, inferior border, two lateral borders. Okay. So surfaces, anterior surface and posterior surface. Okay. So these are the features of the manubrium sternum. So next is the body of the sternum. So this is the manubrium of the sternum, and second next is the body of the sternum. So we can see the body of the sternum also is elongated and narrower than the manubrium sternum. And it also has two surfaces. There is an anterior surface and a posterior surface, and it has two ends, an upper end and a lower end, and it has two borders, two lateral borders on either side. Then coming to the surfaces, anterior surface. So anterior surface is convex, and it has three transverse ridges. You can see three transverse ridges on the surface. So three transverse ridges can be seen on its surface, which represents the line of fusion of the small segments of the body. So one segment is known as one sternbray. Okay. And another sternbray, and another sternbray. So four sternbray fuses to form this body. So this line of fusion we can see as a transverse ridges. So three transverse ridges can be seen on the anterior surface. Okay. Anterior surface. Then posterior surface. Posterior surface is smooth and it is concave. Then two ends. There is an upper end and a lower end. So upper end we already seen. Upper end forms a secondary cartilaginous joint with the manubrium sternum. Okay, here it forms the angle of sternum here. So that is the upper end. And coming to the lower end it forms. So below that I saw told there is another piece of bone that is known as xiphoid process. So the lower end forms another secondary cartilaginous joint with the primary cartilaginous joint with the xiphi-sternum. Here lower portion. So that is not here, it is already broken. Okay. So there forms the primary cartilaginous joint with the sternum, xiphi-sternum. Okay. So these are the two ends, upper end and lower end. and two lateral borders are there. So two lateral borders we can see on either side there will be facet for the articulation of the costal cartilages. Okay. So there are faces for facet for the costal cartilages. Here we can see, we already seen the upper one, second. This is the first one, first costal cartilage. Here comes the half portion comes the body and half portion comes to the manubrium sternum. So second cartilage, then third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and half portion of the seventh also can be seen in the lateral border of the body of the sternum. Okay, sternum. Okay, in the lateral border. So either side we can see first, then second half in the manubrium sternum, half in the body, then third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and half portion of the seventh. Okay, so up to this seventh costal cartilage can be attached towards the lateral border of the body of the sternum. Okay, lateral border on either side. Then next portion is the Sifford process. So Sifford process, it is not here. So it is actually a conical portion. Okay. Conical portion. So in the by birth it is seen as a cartilage piece. After that the ossification will happen and it will be transformed into bone, and shape also will vary. Sometimes we can see a foramen inside that Sifford process, and sometimes we can see it is bifid. Bifid means it will divided into two. So like that we can see the Sifford process also. Okay. And that's all about the sternum. So sternum has three parts: manubrium sternum, body of the sternum, and sternum. Okay. So it's an example for a flat bone. And one more important feature for the sternum is our sternum has the bone marrow. Okay, so bone marrow examination usually done from the sternum, usually obtained from the sternum. So bone marrow of the sternum is usually taken off by puncturing the sternum. Okay, so that puncturing the sternum, and it is because of the fact that the bone marrow of the sternum is we already studied red bone marrow and yellow bone marrow. So in case of sternum we can see the red bone marrow in adult situation also. So that's why we are taking the bone marrow from the sternum, and also it is easily accessible. So easily we can take the bone marrow from the sternum. Okay. Because of these two reasons we are taking the bone marrow of the sternum for the examination, bone marrow examination. Okay. So that's all about the sternum. So that procedure is known as sternal puncture. So by puncturing the sternum and obtaining the bone marrow for the examination. Okay. So that's all about the then sometimes we have abnormality of some bone sternum development can be seen. In some people we can see sternum is like key funnel shape. Like this we can see this is the boat shaped sternum can be seen. Instead of flat type, the central portion we can see like this, it is coming like this. So like that type of sternum we will call it as keloid sternum or pigeon chest. Chest we have already seen the pigeons, they have the chest is like this boat shaped chest. Okay. So that situation we will call it as pigeon chest, and the sternum will be like boat shape. Okay. And just opposite situation also can be seen in some people. It will be the depressed, instead of going flat it will be depressed. Okay, such type of condition we will call it as funnel chest. It is going downward, there is a depression like can be seen at the middle of the sternum, so it is known as funnel chest. Okay, so like if it is going forward and forming boat shape, we will call it as pigeon chest, and this is funnel chest. Okay, both are developmental anomalies. So that's all about the then there will be, so we already told this sternum will be during ossification on either side of the sternum will be formed separately, and they will fuse together. Okay. If there is any failure of fusion of the either side of the sternum, what will happen? This center portion will be opened. Okay. In that cases, we can see the heart also outside. So in that case, is known as ectopia cordis. Okay. That condition is known as ectopia cordis. Okay. So these are the clinical anatomy for the sternum. Okay. So sternum, so go through this one also. So that's all about the sternum.